Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem. Yahweh Shem Ba'Shem Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And Shalom to the Akim, scattered through four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And Shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird. I say Shalom to you, Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson on September 20th, 2022 at 12:55 p.m. Central Standard Time on this Tuesday in the noon. And this is a news article for AssociatedPressNews.com. And this is published by Rodney Mampuzil, if I pronounce his last name right, Salakia for that. The highlight of this news article for today in the news on September 20th, 2022, and it reads, Eritrea accused starting offense on Ethiopia's Tigray. Right, because I believe him. Oh, Miss Holloway.
Hello, what's up, lady? What's going on, honey?
Salakia for that momentary pause. I was doing something for my OG, but yeah, like I was mentioning before, I remember doing a sit-down lesson on this. I said like a week ago, close to a week or two ago, about tensions between the two nations. Then you had one not too long ago, I believe, a few months ago. It was like Sudan and Congolese, they was going at it with each other as well too. Now you got this right here of Ethiopia and Eritrea escalating with each other. So that goes into the nations rising against nations. And I'm gonna read this news article, and it reads once again for edification's sake. I'm gonna repeat it again. It says, Eritrea accused of starting offense on Ethiopia's Tigray. Associated Press, the Tigrayan authorities say Eritrea has launched a full-scale offense along the country's border within northern Ethiopia, which appears to be an escalation of last month's renewal of fighting. The Eritreans because these basically two Cushite nations, because Ethiopia is modern day Cush, because these are two Cushite nations. It says that Eritreans are fighting alongside of Ethiopian federal forces, including commander units as well as the allied military. Tigray spokesperson Getachew Reda said Tuesday. Eritrea is deploying its entire army as well as reserves. Our forces are historically defending their positions, he tweeted. And humanitarian worker, Salakia slip of the tongue, in the North Ethiopian town of Tigray told the Associated Press that the Eritrean forces were shelling the surrounding areas. It was not immediately possible to obtain comments for authorities of Ethiopia of Eritrea, which north of Tigray. British and Canada issued travel advisories last week, telling citizens in Eritrea to be vigilant after authorities there called up citizens to report any military duty. So yeah, as I mentioned before, that goes into the nations rising against nations. So Matthews 24:7, scripture that I'm bringing out. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7, in the Holy Scriptures, and it reads, "For nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places." Right, because you're going to continue to see the rise and increase around the world of these nations are having these military type positions of areas. They're going to clash against one another of two different nations, And as you see, these two nations right here might be Cushites, but probably potentially from a different tribe, because that's why you have it nations against nations. You're going to have people within their own nations of a different tribes going against one another. You're going to see that as well, too, in the latter days, You're going to start to see that increase as well, too, But I'm going to bring out the book of Luke 21:8. If I believe that's the right scripture. No, the next verse. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 9. It reads through the Holy Scriptures. "But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by right." Because more prophecies are coming, as I mentioned previously, constantly, consistently, over and over again, the MOTB, the digital currency, the full implementing of that's going to be prophesied to come past as well too, right along with the Revelations 11:14. Second woe was past, behold, third woe coming quickly. Because we already had the first woe, second woe, now we're entering the third woe, Second woe was past, third woe coming quickly. Because we're seeing the signs of a third woe coming quickly, And that's why we're seeing this increase of commotions of wars, proxy wars, endless clashes between the nations and different kingdoms as well too. So these are continue building up more and more and more as we see these things take place around the world. Not just only one war going on in commotions of one nations, and you got it all around the world as well too. I believe it's been an increase of clashes over there. I was just looking at a news article just a minute ago from the Associated Press. They've been having ongoing, continuing clashes between, I believe it's in the West Bank or something like that, but in that region over there in the Middle East between the Palestinians and the Israelis. They've been clashing with each other for a very long time. So, that goes into another prime example of commotions of wars, endless proxy wars, endless clashes between the nations and different kingdoms as well too. And that's what we're seeing starting to increase more and more and more, because everything is a balance. And there's going to be times where, it's going to be a momentarily pause of tensions calm down a little bit, but it's going to increase more and more and more, as we see these things take place on the planet Earth, So with that, this was just a quick sit-down lesson for In the News in regards to, these two nations, which most likely Kushite nations, the Ethiopia and Eritrea, the two nations clashing out against one another, a clash border between the nations. So these things like this prime example is going to increase more and more and more. So with that, I hope this sit-down lesson was edifying for In the News on September 20th, 2022 at 1:05 p.m. Central Standard Time on this Tuesday afternoon. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And they still going strong in this truth. The water Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai for setting up the elders, apostles, and the brothers on down. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and a ball.